Thank you, and good morning. Welcome to Ad Revenue 6. I know ad tech is hot, but I saw a toddler somewhere in the back of the room earlier today. So this is the first time in 6 years I've seen that, so all are welcome. Again, my name is Rajeev Goel, co-founder and CEO of PubMatic. I'm thrilled to have you here at our 6th annual event focused on helping premium publishers navigate the rapidly evolving ecosystem around programmatic advertising and better connect with their advertising partners. What I want to do this morning is share with you my vision for where the industry is going over the next couple of years and what PubMatic's role is within that. When I started PubMatic 7 years ago along with my co-founders, we started it with the belief that we could create a multi-billion-dollar technology and services company focused on the needs of premium publishers. And we're closer to that goal than we've ever been. We have 350 employees, on our way to 450 employees. We operate in 5 continents around the globe. Yet I think we set our sights too low. It's clear to me now that we can create a $10 billion, even $20 billion business over the next 10 years. And we will do that as this industry continues to evolve. So the industry is very much at a tipping point. And the transition that's happening is a change from a do-it-for-me model of technology providers to a do-it-with-me model of solution providers. And what that means is a change in focus from black box, ROI, yield focus to much more of an enterprise solutions, enterprise capability focus. And we see this happening all around us. So let me give you a few examples. 7 of the top 10 marketers are building their own bidding infrastructures, their own DSPs. So they're not going to use a third party, they're taking all of that in-house. So that's a good example of where the value is migrating out of technology and into the business strategy that's driving that technology. We see a backlash with certain clients that don't want to be forced to work with agency trading desks. Right? They want to keep that strategy in-house, they want to keep the services piece, they want to keep the technology in-house. I see more and more resumes out there in the market touting the experience using the PubMatic platform, the MediaMath platform, the Turn platform, for example. And so what that means for us is that as a company, PubMatic, we're no longer focused exclusively on the yield question. How do I drive yield for my inventory up? And instead, we're focused on building out and creating the platform that enables publishers to better connect with their consumers, and then at the same time, intelligently price, package, and sell their media and their audience. And all of this necessitates a shift towards the human element, something that at PubMatic we call the human API. And we should be very excited about this because this marks a clear inflection point in the industry shifting towards more rapid expansion within the industry. So maturity and ubiquity of ad technology is upon us, and it's got many precedents. So what you see here is one of the first computers, which is actually a scientific calculator developed by IBM. I've got some colleagues, some friends here from IBM in the back. And IBM first projected the market for this computing capability at less than 100 servers, right? And the model they thought was that companies would outsource the processing requirements to some sort of centralized processing service, hand the tasks over, and then get the results back. Obviously, the market has evolved very differently. Today, everybody's got 2, 3, 4 different devices, PC on the desktop, a laptop at home, a couple of devices in your pocket. My 4-year-old's got 2 or 3 devices themselves. So that's one example of ubiquity and maturity of technology. Second is communications. So there are executives in this room who probably not too long ago used to dictate memos to an assistant before it would get sent out. Obviously today, every executive here knows how to type for himself or herself, and that's led to an explosion of email communication, other forms of internet communication. And it's clearly changed how businesses run, the hierarchy within organizations, all of how corporate America works. Another example, a personal example, would be real estate. So 10 years ago, you absolutely had to have a real estate agent in order to price a home, look at the comps, research schools, research environmental factors around any house that you were considering. Today, of course, you no longer need a real estate agent to do all of that. You can do all of that yourself. You only need the real estate agent to complete the transaction. And that has clearly led to a significant increase in the number of real estate transactions happening in the US. So as these cycles of maturity and ubiquity come into ad tech, we are seeing publishers and advertisers take the technology in-house and build out the systems, the processes, the capabilities, and hire the people that they need in order to run this within their own four walls. And that will drive faster growth. And we'll talk a little bit later about some research we're putting out today in conjunction with IDC about what exactly those growth metrics look like. And so this tipping point that leads to this transition will cause the next transition, which is that technology fades into the background. And the value is migrating out of the technology and into the business strategy that's driving it and helping our clients create that business strategy. And I'm excited about this because I think in our industry today, there's too much talk about technology and not enough about capabilities, outcomes, and what the art of the possible is. Ultimately, of course, technology is a means to an end. Right? So when I founded PubMatic, along with my co-founders, we were the first in ad network or yield optimization. We followed that up a couple of years later, being the first to bring RTB for publishers. We followed that with the first integrated mobile platform, which now about a fifth of our clients are using to seamlessly manage inventory across desktop and mobile devices. And now we are the first with holistic sales channel management to help publishers seamlessly blend direct and indirect inventory. And these are all great technology innovators and enablers, but now the game is shifting to business enablement. So I want to shift now to talk about where we are headed next, right? And I think there's two dimensions here that I want to talk about. The first dimension is that the ad server as we know it is dead. Let me repeat that. The ad server as we know it today is dead. So if you're a publisher in the room, you don't need to go run back to your office and start ripping it out. I see Jeff here from Demand Media. You can hang out for the day. You got a little bit of time. In the next 2 to 3 years, what we will see happen is a transition away from the legacy ad serving infrastructure, which is a business rules driven engine built in a time before the concept of real-time bidding existed, that is context aware but not audience aware. We will see a transition from that type of system to a fully real-time bidding, audience-enabled ad server that seamlessly blends non-guaranteed delivery with guaranteed delivery. So one system that can move audience and traffic and advertiser needs seamlessly. So why is this happening? First, the pricing chasm between premium direct sold inventory on the one hand and indirectly sold non-guaranteed advertising on the other hand has collapsed, right? So the old regime of making a priori decisions of inventory allocation to one channel versus another no longer makes sense. And we see that in our own platform. So private marketplace transactions, which is publishers selling directly to an agency transacted over real-time bidding, that is on average 10 times higher than ad network CPMs on our platform today. So a perfect example of that pricing chasm having collapsed. Second, the dollars flowing through programmatic are getting to a scale where nobody wants to take the risk of under-delivery. Right, so before I started PubMatic, I ran marketing for a set of products at SAP. And the number one thing that I could not do is end the year without having spent my marketing budget, because then some sales leader was going to make sure that I got fired. Right, so the dollars flowing through are now so large that the agency, the client, the publisher, everybody wants some sort of surety or guarantee around the delivery of those dollars. It makes everybody's life easier. And that is the second driver of killing the ad server as we know it today. So the need is very clear. A multi-sales channel, direct and indirect, a multi-consumption channel, desktop, mobile, connected TV, ad server that understands audience and can blend guaranteed delivery and non-guaranteed delivery in real time. And PubMatic is at the forefront of innovating this with a growing base of publishers that's already live with this solution. Now, second is, while we recognize the power of technology, we also recognize that without education and service, the promise of that technology goes unfulfilled. Right? So without the ability to provide strategic guidance to our customers around how to use the technology, how to harness the technology oftentimes sits on the shelf. And so we are launching a new services offering for our clients, which really marks a shift in how our customers use our platform. We'll be helping our customers develop go-to-market strategies around their private marketplace offerings, trainings for their sales teams on how to develop a holistic sales strategy. As a solution provider, we think it's important for us to respond to this requirement in the market and really help our customers accelerate and transform their businesses as they march forward into this digital programmatic environment. So today I'm very excited to announce the Platform Solutions team at PubMatic, which is a consulting line of business for us designed to amplify our customers' success. And that team will ramp up this fall really to provide, again, what I call the human API, or the human element to the solution. Pricing, packaging, selling in a programmatic world, integrating programmatic into a holistic revenue strategy, organization and compensation planning. I was with a client of ours yesterday afternoon, a CRO, helping her think about how to align compensation strategies for 2014 across programmatic and sponsorship sales. Best practices for operational effectiveness and vertical and domain-specific insights. So our solutions will now go beyond technology to include a formalized consultative offering. Our industry is indeed at a tipping point. As I mentioned earlier, we're releasing a global RTB study today, commissioned by PubMatic and conducted by IDC. And what it shows is that 80% of US display ad spend will be based on RTB by 2022. So let me just repeat that again. 80% of US display will be based on RTB within the next 10 years. And a quarter of all direct sales will be conducted over RTB in the next 5 years. So we've got a great lineup of content for you today as you develop your own business strategies and think about those 2 data points. You'll hear from Steve Mills, who runs IBM's software business. You'll hear from Bob Lord, who's the CEO of AOL Networks. And you'll also hear panels on programmatic advertising, the role of technology, the role of the CRO in all of this, and the emergence of cross-device platforms. So enjoy the day and the year ahead, and thank you again for joining us here at Ad Revenue.